sitting here this morning kind of thinking about a few different things, and I'm about to go take a pretty lengthy drive and have a pretty busy afternoon. So this past week we went through the Torah portion, and we went through chapter 6 through 1132 in Genesis. So it's the beginning of the Torah portion here again. And I noticed that essentially here in the first 12 chapters of Genesis, you are presented with about 5 to 6 genealogies are given to you here at the beginning of the Bible. Most people, in fact, I've never heard a single person comment on this. You ever notice how many genealogies are in the Bible? Lots and lots and lots of genealogies are in the Bible. In fact, all scripture is given by the inspiration of God. If you look at the scripture as being the Old Testament, you must then admit that part of scripture is the recording of individuals' names in the Bible. And the reason I bring this up is because it shows you again the difference between us and them. I tell people very plainly, all the Bible prophecy is fulfilled. You live at the end of Revelation right now in the new heaven and new earth, whether you believe it or not, essentially. The amount of evidence showing you that all prophecy in the Bible has been fulfilled is abundant and is really just being overlooked due to various religious traditions. So there's a huge difference between us and them, us today in 2016 versus the people in the Bible. Think about this. The recording of the bloodline is so important to these people that the names of the individual, descendants, the whole genealogy of people is recorded. This guy had this guy, then had this guy, that had this guy, that had this guy. You read this all throughout the Old Testament. Think about this, though. Paul in the New Testament says not to pay attention to endless genealogies. This is a substantial difference than any reckoning of a person in the entirety of the Bible, essentially. The tracking of this bloodline is critical to these people. But think about you and me. When we come across a genealogy in the Bible, we can't say the names, we can't see the place where the guy was born, and we just skip the whole chapter. And I'm not saying that there's no reason to do so, but it shows you the difference. To them, the bloodline and the names of these people is so important, they recorded them in the Bible. To you, it's so unimportant, you just skip over it, don't care. 3-4 pages full of people's names, who gives? That's a difference. That's a huge difference. And what I try to say to an individual is the fact that you don't care about the bloodline, the fact that you don't care about it so much that you don't read a genealogy in the New Testament is showing you that you don't live in the same world as these people. Those people are concerned about a bloodline. That's why a genealogy is important. That's why the Torah has phrases like, you will do this forever throughout your generations in numerous places. A generation is how you count a genealogy. The purpose of a genealogy is to track a bloodline. Matthew chapter 1 opens up with a genealogy, tracking all the way back to Abraham, showing you that the Messiah is a direct bloodline descendant. It's extremely important for them. But the end of the Israelite bloodline has long since existed. I'm no Israelite by blood. No one is. The bloodline of Israel is over. The generations of Israel ended 2,000 years ago. So again, just showing some of the difference.